Picture yourself standing at the edge of a quiet forest, the kind where sunlight filters through leaves in soft, dappled patterns, and the air hums with a stillness that feels alive. You're carrying a heavy pack, filled not with gear, but with the weight of your life. Deadlines that never pause, notifications that demand your attention, the nagging sense that you're falling short, that you're not quite where you're supposed to be. You're not alone in this. The modern world is a relentless current, pulling you toward more stuff, more status, more certainty, while leaving you feeling less connected, less clear, less whole. But what if, in this very moment, you could set that pack down? What if there's a way to find a spark, a quiet fire within you that lights the path to a life of purpose, joy, and simplicity? This is where Ikigai, Japan's secret to finding your reason for being, steps in. Ikigai isn't a quick fix or a trendy hack. It's a profound, timeless philosophy that invites you to discover what makes you come alive and weave it into every corner of your life. It's about aligning what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for, creating a harmony that feels like freedom. Let's journey together into the heart of Ikigai, exploring how it can help you navigate the chaos of modern life and build a simpler, more intentional, deeply fulfilling existence. Ikigai, pronounced ikigai, is a Japanese term that blends iki, life living, and gai, value, worth, translating roughly to a reason for being or the joy of living. Its roots lie in the culture of Okinawa, a region renowned for its residents' longevity and vibrant well-being, where Ikigai is less a formal doctrine and more a way of life. Unlike Western notions of purpose, which often emphasize grand, singular goals, Ikigai is fluid, personal, and often found in small, everyday moments. The warmth of a morning ritual, the satisfaction of a task done with care, the quiet pride of helping another. Philosophically, it draws from Zen Buddhism and Shinto, which value presence, harmony, and gratitude for the ordinary. It's not about chasing a distant dream, but about uncovering the spark already within you and nurturing it daily. Imagine a Venn diagram with 4 circles: what you love, what you're skilled at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. Ikigai lives at their intersection, a sweet spot where passion, talent, service, and sustainability meet. Yet it's more than a formula. It's a mindset, a way of seeing your life as a tapestry of meaningful threads, each one chosen with intention. You might be wondering why Ikigai matters now, in a world that feels so fractured. You wake to a phone buzzing with emails, a calendar crammed with commitments, and a mind already racing with what-ifs. The pressure to keep up is relentless. Social media showcases lives that seem perfect. Consumerism promises happiness in the next purchase, and work demands constant hustle. Financial anxiety gnaws at you. Bills stack up, savings feel out of reach, and the cost of keeping up weighs heavy. Digital distraction pulls you away from the present, your attention fragmented by endless scrolls. Beneath it all, there's a deeper ache, a sense of disconnection, a longing for clarity, a question that lingers in quiet moments. What am I here for? Ikigai speaks directly to these struggles, offering not an escape, but a way to reframe your life. It's a minimalist approach to meaning, a decluttering of priorities that lets you focus on what truly lights you up. It's about finding abundance not in excess, but in the essentials, those moments, roles, and actions that make you feel alive. Let's meet Anna, a 38-year-old graphic designer who felt like she was drifting. Her job paid well but left her uninspired, her evenings lost to Netflix binges or worrying about her future. She loved painting but hadn't touched a canvas in years, convinced it was a waste of time since it didn't pay. She felt disconnected from her friends, her family, even herself. One day, a colleague mentioned Ikigai, describing it as a way to find joy and purpose. Skeptical but curious, Anna began exploring. She listed what she loved, painting, storytelling, what she was good at, design, creativity, what the world needed, beauty, connection, and what she could be paid for, her design skills, teaching art. Slowly, she saw a path. She started offering art workshops at a community center, blending her passion with service. The pay was modest, but the joy was immense. Anna's story is a reminder that Ikigai isn't about quitting your job or chasing a dream. It's about small, intentional steps toward alignment. The beauty of Ikigai lies in its depth, so let's dive deeper into its essence. In Okinawa, Ikigai is woven into daily life. A fisherman might find his Ikigai in the rhythm of casting nets, providing for his family, and sharing stories with his community. A grandmother might find hers in tending her garden, teaching her grandchildren patience, and savoring the taste of homegrown vegetables. These aren't lofty ambitions. They're grounded, personal, and rooted in the present. The philosophy encourages you to ask, what gets you out of bed each morning? What makes time disappear? What do you do, not for applause, but for the quiet satisfaction it brings? Ikigai doesn't demand perfection or grandeur. It celebrates the imperfect, the incremental, the human. It's a rejection of the all-or-nothing mindset that traps so many in cycles of frustration. Instead, it invites you to see purpose as a mosaic, built from countless small pieces, each valuable in its own right. This resonates deeply in a world that glorifies big wins and overnight success. You're told to find your one true calling. But what if your purpose isn't a single destination? Ikigai suggests it's a journey, one that evolves with you. It's not about abandoning your responsibilities or ignoring practical needs. It's about integrating them with what lights you up. For some, Ikigai might be a career shift. For others, it's a hobby, a volunteer role, or a morning ritual. The key is intentionality, choosing actions, relationships, and priorities that align with your unique spark. This alignment creates a ripple effect, transforming not just how you feel, but how you live, work, and connect. The benefits of embracing Ikigai are profound, touching every facet of your life. Mentally, it brings clarity and calm. When you focus on what truly matters, the noise of comparison and distraction fades. Imagine starting your day knowing exactly why you're here, not in a cosmic sense, but in a grounded one, to create, to care, to contribute. This focus reduces overwhelm, replacing it with a sense of direction. Emotionally, Ikigai fosters resilience. When you're anchored in purpose, setbacks feel less like failures and more like detours. A rejected project at work stings less when you know your worth isn't tied to one outcome, but to the joy you find in creating. Physically, Ikigai can ease the toll of stress. Studies of Okinawan centenarians show that a sense of purpose correlates with lower cortisol levels and better health. When you're engaged in meaningful work or play, your body relaxes, your energy flows. Spiritually, Ikigai reconnects you to something larger. It's not necessarily religious, though it can be. It's about feeling part of a web of life, where your actions matter. Planting a garden, mentoring a colleague, or writing a poem becomes a quiet act of faith in the world's goodness. In relationships, Ikigai deepens connection. When you're living your purpose, you bring authenticity to your interactions. Picture sharing a passion project with a friend or teaching a skill to your child. Those moments bond you in ways small talk never could. At work, Ikigai transforms your approach. Even a mundane job becomes meaningful when you find small ways to infuse it with purpose, helping a coworker, improving a process, or simply doing your best with care. Financially, Ikigai encourages conscious choices. Instead of chasing status symbols, you prioritize what aligns with your values. You might downsize your lifestyle to free up time for a passion project or choose a job that pays less but feels more fulfilling. This shift reduces financial anxiety, not because you have more money, but because you need less to feel whole. Environmentally, Ikigai aligns with sustainability. When you value quality over quantity, you buy less, waste less, and cherish what you have. Creatively, Ikigai is a wellspring. It frees you to experiment, to play, to create without the pressure of perfection. A musician might find Ikigai in composing for joy, not fame, a writer in crafting stories that touch one reader. Contrast this with the default mode of modern life. Without Ikigai, you might drift through days on autopilot, checking boxes but feeling empty. You chase external markers of success, promotions, likes, possessions, only to find they don't satisfy. You compare yourself to others, feeling inadequate. You fill your time with distractions, avoiding the quiet where big questions live. This path is heavy, unsustainable, a recipe for burnout. Ikigai, by contrast, is light. It's not about ignoring reality. It's about meeting it with purpose. It's a sustainable way to live, one that nourishes you rather than depletes you. Imagine two mornings, one where you rush out the door, stressed and scattered, versus one where you wake with a quiet sense of why this day matters. The difference is stark, and Ikigai makes the latter possible. So how do you find your Ikigai? The process is simple but requires patience and honesty. Start by reflecting on the four pillars: what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. Grab a notebook and write freely, without judgment. For what you love, list activities that make time vanish: cooking, hiking, teaching, daydreaming. For what you're good at, note skills others praise or tasks you do effortlessly: organizing, listening, problem solving. For what the world needs, think broadly: connection, beauty, justice, or small acts like helping a neighbor. For what you can be paid for, consider your current job, side hustles, or potential ventures. Don't aim for perfection, just explore. This exercise, done over a week, helps you see patterns. Next, look for overlap. Maybe you love writing, you're skilled at storytelling. The world needs honest communication, and you can be paid as a freelancer. Your Ikigai might be crafting stories that inspire. Or perhaps you love gardening. You're good at nurturing. The world needs sustainable food, and you can sell produce at a market. Your Ikigai could be growing food that feeds your community. These intersections don't need to be your entire life. They can be a hobby, a side project, or a small daily act. The key is to start small. If your Ikigai involves teaching, begin by sharing a skill with a friend. If it's creating, set aside 10 minutes a day to sketch. These micro steps build momentum. To deepen your practice, try a morning ritual. Each day, spend 5 minutes reflecting on your Ikigai. Ask, what's one thing I can do today to live my purpose? It might be calling a loved one, finishing a task with care, or trying something new. Write your answer down and act on it. This ritual grounds you, making purpose a habit. Another practice is gratitude journaling. Each evening, note 3 moments that felt meaningful: a conversation, a task, a quiet pause. Over time, you'll see what sparks your Ikigai most. If writing isn't your thing, reflect silently while sipping tea or walking. For a bolder step, try a purpose experiment. Dedicate one weekend to living your Ikigai fully. If your spark is connecting people, host a small gathering. If it's creating, spend a day painting or writing. Notice how you feel: energized, alive, whole. This experiment clarifies what matters. You can also seek feedback. Ask trusted friends or family, what do you think I'm great at? What do I seem to love? Their answers might reveal blind spots, like a knack for listening you hadn't noticed. Challenges will emerge. You might feel stuck, unsure of your Ikigai. That's normal. Clarity comes with time. If you're blocked, try a new activity: a cooking class, a volunteer shift, a hike. Novelty sparks insight. You might doubt your skills or fear failure. Remind yourself that Ikigai isn't about perfection. It's about effort. If you're juggling responsibilities, start tiny. 5 minutes of a passion project daily. Financial constraints can feel limiting, but Ikigai often requires little money. Teaching a skill or savoring a hobby costs nothing. If you feel overwhelmed, scale back. Focus on one pillar, what you love, and build from there. Resistance is part of growth, so meet it with patience. When you falter, ask, what's one small step I can take now? Ikigai weaves beautifully with other philosophies. It echoes mindfulness, the art of being present, which helps you notice what sparks joy. It aligns with minimalism, prioritizing what's essential. It resonates with Stoicism's focus on what you can control, your actions, not outcomes. Psychologically, it connects to self-determination theory, which says humans thrive when they feel autonomy, competence, and connection. These threads enrich Ikigai, grounding it in a universal quest for meaning. You're not inventing purpose from scratch. You're tapping into a wisdom that's guided humanity for centuries. Let's meet Javier, a 45-year-old teacher who felt trapped in routine. His job was stable but draining, his evenings spent scrolling or stressing about bills. He loved music but hadn't played his guitar in years, convinced it was pointless. Reading about Ikigai, he decided to explore. He listed what he loved: music, helping others; what he was good at: teaching, empathy; what the world needed: youth support; and what he could be paid for: education, tutoring. He started small, offering free guitar lessons to kids in his neighborhood. The joy of seeing them light up rekindled his own spark. He didn't quit teaching but began integrating music into his classes, creating a club for students. Javier's life didn't change overnight, but it felt richer, more his own. His story shows that Ikigai is accessible, no matter your circumstances. As you embrace Ikigai, you'll notice shifts. Your days will feel less scattered, more anchored. You'll find joy in small acts: brewing coffee with care, listening deeply, creating something new. You'll worry less about what others think, trusting your own compass. Your relationships will deepen as you bring your authentic self to them. Your work, even if imperfect, will feel like a canvas for purpose. You'll consume less, not out of sacrifice, but because meaning fills the void. This is the abundance of Ikigai, a life rich in connection, creativity, and quiet victories. Now, standing at the edge of this moment, imagine your own Ikigai. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need a perfect plan. All you need is the courage to ask, what makes me come alive? What small step can I take today? The path to a simpler, more intentional life begins here, in the spark you choose to nurture. Picture yourself a month from now, waking with a quiet sense of purpose, moving through your day with clarity and joy. That future is possible, and it starts with one choice, one moment, one spark. Take a breath. Ask yourself, what's my Ikigai today? Then with gentle resolve, step toward it. The world is waiting for your light. Underscore separator. Underscore lions. Underscore script. Underscore separator. Underscore. Underscore. Underscore.